Falls are inevitable in life. A fall may even bring times of adversity. Here, Dr. Jolee Brunton offers suggestions for navigating the inevitable.
The first thing I'd like to do is define resilience. It's simply the ability to bounce back. Implicit in that definition, though, is that you're going to get knocked down, that things are going to happen. And while we can't avoid or eliminate life's adversities, we can learn how to respond or react to them in healthy ways. So what I'm going to share with you today is some of the characteristics of resilient people and some of the things and tools that you can use to get through this difficult time in a healthy and productive way. Essentially, it's grieving, and the emotions that you feel are going to be consistent with those kinds of things that people feel when they have a loss, when they're grieving. Some of the common emotions are denial, this can't be happening. Anger is a prominent one, especially in these kinds of situations where, it doesn't feel right or fair sometimes in the midst of all the other difficulties to now have to be facing this. There's bargaining, which is the woulda, coulda, shouldas, or the maybe if I would have done that, or why didn't they try this? It's a natural part. We're trying to make sense of this. We're trying to find order and a place for it. There's sadness. Grief is replete with sadness, and it's okay to feel that. And then finally, one of the emotions is acceptance, as I talked about before, the ability to kind of take that deep breath, say, well, regardless, here's where I'm at. Now, where do I go from here? And you need to allow yourself to feel the emotions, but not get caught or stuck in the emotions of grief, and you'll find that you'll land in acceptance more frequently, and you'll be able to stay in acceptance longer. A second characteristic of people who are resilient is that they have the ability to focus their attention on things that you know that you can change and things that will bring positive change to your life. You have to be able to look at the things around you and make choices about the way that you're thinking. Lucy Hone has done a great deal of work in this area of resilience, and I love the way she phrases it. She says, working with this and focusing your attention is an intentional, deliberate, and ongoing effort. Because if you allow yourself to just default to what you're feeling, you'll always kind of bounce to the negative. We're wired that way. As human beings, we're physiologically wired to look at danger, to scan for danger. And when we have a lot of uncertainty around us, we tend to become involved in anxiety thinking. And anxiety thinking means that you overestimate the threats around you and you overestimate the problems. And at the same time, you're underestimating your own ability to deal with it. So it leaves you feeling incredibly out of control. So part of what we're trying to do here is find the toeholds, the places that you can grab some control of your life, of your emotions, so that you can start moving yourself in a positive direction. The third characteristic of people who are resilient is that they have the ability to ask themselves and to monitor, is what I'm doing right now, is what I'm doing or thinking going to harm me or going to help me? And again, this comes from Lucy Hone's work. And the people that are resilient are able to make the appropriate choices. They choose wisely. They move in the direction of things that are going to help rather than harm. It's easy to see the things that are going to harm us. When we get into a negative situation, the anger and the negative thinking, the blaming, the feeling victimized, the feeling helpless, drinking too much, eating too much, not trying to get good sleep, giving up all of our coping strategies. Those are the directions that are going to harm us. So what are the things that are going to help us? So again, it's pretty straightforward stuff. First of all, taking care of yourself, your mind, your body, and your spirit. Starting with your body, because you have the most control over that. the stuff that you're going to hear in every coping lecture that ever happens in psychology or physical health. Start with diet and exercise, making sure that you're getting your body in motion and burning off some of those stress chemicals in the way that they were intended to be used. Trying to exercise, trying to watch your diet, be careful with your alcohol intake, being as healthy as you possibly can. Relaxation work, meditation, a lot of studies that are out on meditation that show that it's universally helpful. And again, it doesn't have to be, the Eastern method of chanting Om. It's any kind of calm, quiet, focused awareness. And tons of things on the internet for you to look at. The other things that will be helpful for you is to use your support systems, your friends and your family. And not just to vent, although that can be helpful too, but also to distract you, to give you another point of view or way of looking at things. Social supports are really important when you're undergoing a lot of stressful or adverse times. You need to acknowledge your feelings and give yourself time every day to feel that. Oftentimes it comes in waves. You could be perfectly fine 1 minute and something's going to remind or trigger that kind of wave of negativity. When you feel the wave, you can think of it just like that, like you're at the ocean and it's a wave and it's going to come over you, but you're going to emerge from the other side. Try to not allow yourself to kind of stay stuck in that, but acknowledge it and feel it when it happens. And then you take a deep breath and say, okay, now I need to purposely and deliberately and intentionally think of my next move. Restore some order in your life. Again, that's been something that's been disrupted now for months, but some plan, some order, some structure, some routine, including sleeping with regular hours and taking your day and apportioning it to the tasks that you need to attend to move forward. So looking at, is this thing I'm about to do going to help me or harm me? Is the way I'm thinking right now helping me or harming me? So to end, we can't stop the bad things that are going to happen. The resilience is the ability to get up after you've been knocked down, but we're all going to get knocked down. And I guess the last thing I want to leave you with is that you're not a victim here, and it's not out of your control. You can choose to act in a way that moves you forward, and it will take you through this adversity to a stronger and better place.